I see. It seems like you had a hard time at the orphanage. My name is Uzuma Samakura. I'm 23 and was abandoned by my parents when I was young and grew up in an orphanage. After graduating from high school, I worked part-time to make ends meet, but it was time to start job hunting for stability. After being rejected dozens of times, I finally managed to get an interview with the president of a certain company. As you may have guessed, in this interview, I'm just looking at your personality. You pretty much got the job. Oh, is that right? I can't help but let out a cry of joy. I can finally become a stable full-time employee. I wanted to hire people like you. However, while single, you must live in a company dorm. Occasionally, I'll ask you to go overseas. Do you mind? Not at all. And I was successfully offered a job. It has been about half a year since I moved to the company dorm and started working.
Oh, Makura-san. The president ran away with all the company's money.
What? No way. I suddenly found myself unemployed again. Then another 3 months, I was sitting looking hopeless. I was able to get an unemployment insurance, but it's no longer possible. I couldn't stay in the company dorm, of course, so I moved to a cheap apartment with the little savings I had. Moreover, the amount of unemployment benefits is small, and there are time limits on part-time work while receiving benefits. I should have just continued on with part-time work from the beginning. In the end, I managed to make ends meet by getting a consumer loan, but I was forced to pay more and had to take on more part-time jobs. I eventually paid the loan off, but I ran out of money. I was kicked out of my apartment for unpaid rent. I'm homeless without money, huh? It's warm this year. I'm glad it's spring. I wonder if getting low-income welfare is difficult when I'm this young. But I'm hungry.
Oh? What's happening?
The person who spoke to me was a woman in my neighborhood who had been homeless for a year. I believe her name is Chika Yamashita. For some reason, I felt a sense of security and started talking to her. I became unemployed and lost my home, and I don't even have enough to eat today. I wonder why I'm even alive. Then she nods sympathetically.
I see. Well then, let's share this together.
As she said this, she took out the bread she was carrying from her bag, cut it in half, and handed it to me. Huh? No!
Oh, sorry. Even though I'm like this, I keep my hands clean, so it's okay.
No, that's not it. That's yours, right? Please eat it all.
It's okay. It's okay. You should eat whenever you get the chance to.
Saying that, she handed it to me forcibly. So, why are you homeless too? I asked her after we finished eating. Honestly, it should be dangerous for a young woman to be homeless.
I guess I originally ran away from home. I lost my parents and was raised by my uncle. But he's a crazy guy. It seems like he did something to the Yakuza, and he tried to sell me and ask for forgiveness. So I ran away.
That's messed up.
Oh, well, I'll just say this. There's a tacit understanding among homeless people. Don't pry into other people's pasts. Don't pick up trash on other people's territory. Don't take other people's sleeping places.
I just realized it now. Sorry, I was being insensitive. This is probably her territory and her sleeping place, and the previous question was also prying into her past.
No, it's okay.
Then I borrowed her blanket and lied down with her. It's a bit cold.
It's not very noticeable here, but we only go to bed after there are no people left. If you see somebody strange, just move away quietly and immediately. There are some who harm you just to relieve stress.
Until I fell asleep, she taught me how to protect myself and what to do in case of an emergency. She had a lot of knowledge and know-how that had helped her, a young woman, survive. But this can't be good. Next morning, when I woke up to a chill and water droplets, it was starting to rain. We hurried to the roofed bench.
makes selling and collecting empty cans difficult.
I get collecting cans, but selling what?
You don't know? There's a magazine called Big Issue that aims to support society.
It seems to be a magazine published for us homeless people to sell and make money from.
I'm grateful to be able to get cash, even if it's a small amount.
Chika-san, why don't we work together to get out of this life?
Huh? If I could, I had done it a long time ago. It's difficult to escape from a fallen life. Or do you mean that there are people you can rely on?
No, but you're a young and intelligent woman. You can't stay in a place like this. She looks surprised for a moment, and then laughs.
You're fallen, but not rotten. Such people will get out of it sooner or later. But I'm different from you, 'cause...
It's a smile with resignation. It's true that it will be difficult to get out of it, but if you give up, that's really the end. We can! Let's do our best together!
You don't know what to do though, right? Ah, fine. Jeez, you're really stubborn.
While saying that, this time, she smiled a little happily. Well, I finally decided to go to the government office.
That's a problem. You both still look young and healthy, don't you?
But we really don't have any money or a place to live.
We will accept your application, but the number of fraudulent recipients is increasing. Please consider that it is becoming more and more difficult. Why not go to an independent support center?
Almost no one even bothered to talk to us. After that, we went to an independent support center, but I was told that there were no available rooms, so we were put on a wait list.
Well, that's what I thought would happen. A waitlist, huh?
Even if we get to move in, it will only be for half a year at best. If nothing can be done before then, we go back to this life. I now understand why it's so difficult for people in poverty to get out of it. Perhaps people who abuse the system make it difficult to use for the innocent people too.
Anyway, food. Uzumasa, today we have a feast.
I followed Chika for 30 minutes. When I arrived at a large park in the next town, there were a lot of people gathered.
It's a soup kitchen. Volunteers host this event every week.
Oh, this is nice.
The golden rule is to eat when we can.
Today, I felt the coldness of society, but now that I'm here, I know there's also kind people. You guys look good, huh? Hey, you guys, come with me.
It's better for you to not run away, okay?
The people who spoke to us were a large man and a young woman who looked extremely intimidating. Whoa, 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 whoa! Be quiet. If you stay quiet, I'll fill you up with food. Eat without hesitation. I'll prepare a bath too.
I'll make more and more. Just sit quietly and eat, eat, eat.
We were taken to the house of Kumagoro Hanazono and his daughter Aseri-san, who live nearby. What kind of trap is this? Isn't it better to be cautious? Chika-san, aren't you cautious? I guess you should be cautious. Of course, I've ulterior motives, so don't worry. How can you say don't worry? After we finished eating, Chika went to take a bath with Aseri-san, leaving us alone. Well, wait for the girls to come back. Relax here. During that time, it felt a little awkward, and I fidgeted for a while. It seems like they're back.
Thanks for waiting! Ah, it felt so good!
Huh? Chika-san?
Yeah, I know you're surprised. You wouldn't expect a super beauty to be hiding under this filth, right? That's an exaggeration. Anyway, I purposely made myself look dirty so I wouldn't be a target for men.
Chika Yamashita transformed with just one bath. Well, that's that. You ate a lot of food and even took a bath. Do you feel indebted now? You do, right? Before we knew it, the large man had come around behind us and hugged us by the shoulder so we wouldn't run away. There's a strange light shining in his eyes.
You two can't run away now. If you guys try to run away, I'll just pull down this guy's pants.
Stop it! Take us as your disciples? Yeah, that's right. I want you to become the successor to the traditional craft called Love Koizome. Originally, it was made by a man from a samurai family who was not good at talking, so he could express his feelings to women. But now, we don't have a successor. He says he saw us there and it clicked.
But what about your daughter, Asiri-san?
Actually, my wife, who passed away the other day, ran a sales company. It seems like a city wants to take that over. Shut up! Jeez, that's why we need a successor for Love Koizome and a helper for our city. Successor and...
The helper.
That was the reason Kumagoro Hanazono brought us here. After that, they asked us to think about it until tomorrow, so we were taken to the workshop's waiting room. I guess they wouldn't be able to put us together with them in the main house.
Hey, Uzumasa-kun, what should we do? I think it's a good opportunity, and I don't think he's fooling us.
Yeah, I think so too. It's definitely a chance to reintegrate into society. Craftsman, huh? I don't know if I can do it. It seems like I'm the one Kumagoro-san is considering as his successor, but...
Hey, you know what?
I see. A company that sells traditional crafts, huh?
Yeah, it's a company that commissions craftsmen and sells their products. But I don't have any work experience. Thank you for your guidance in advance.
Yeah, I didn't think I'll be teaching you, but I appreciate your help. It was decided that I, who have work experience, will help with the sales company, and Chika will be the craftswoman. It's been a few days since Chika and I met. That's how we were lucky enough to be helped by the Hanazonos. Now, when we were finally about to return to society... But the stock is running low. I'm running out of savings, and I'm sure people have started to forget about me by now. I guess it's time to start doing some business again. The former president of the company I worked for, Kyo Nagaoka, was alone in a dimly lit back alley, smiling obnoxiously. So, we're still sharing a room. We got jobs thanks to the Hanazono family. It's been a month.
You say that now? Better than living on the street. I don't mind. Good night.
After quickly putting down the futon, Chika immediately lies down. And I lie down too, looking up at the ceiling and thinking vaguely. I'm given a place to live, clothes and food. I'm very grateful for it, but...
Jeez, Uzumasa-kun, I was trying not to think too much about us being in the same room. But now
we can't help but think about it. Our thoughts coincidentally overlap. This probably means that we are starting to enjoy our lives properly now.
What? Weren't you two dating to begin with?
The next day, it turned out that it was Asiri who put us in the same room. No, we were just homeless friends.
Well, we don't have another extra room, and Chika-san doesn't mind, so there's no problem, is there?
She's no good. Her carefree personality is just like that of her father.
Well, anywho, You've been great help, Uzumasa-san. I couldn't have handled all these bills alone.
I'm glad my previous work experience is coming in handy. I have quite a bit of part-time experience, and I was a full-time employee too, though only for half a year. I have more experience than her.
Dad said Chika-san's quite talented too, so that's great. I'm in a good mood, so we'll have yakiniku tomorrow.
Yeah! I feel happy to be able to eat yakiniku for the first time in a while. When I entered the workshop to go back to my room as usual...
Oh, welcome back!
Chika was standing there dressed in brightly colored costumes.
Oh, what do you think? I was asked to put myself in our customers' shoes by wearing the dyed clothing.
I couldn't think of anything fancy to say and just hung my mouth open because she was so beautiful. Well, before I knew it, half a year had passed. This is a contract for consignment sales of Love Koizumi. Please check. Aseri's company receives commissions from craftsmen and acts as an intermediary with customers. Love Koizumi has Chika and I started increasing sales channels. I'm home! Oh, still working? When I tried to return to my rented studio room as usual, I found that work was still in progress. Kumagoro-san puts his finger to his mouth and looks at me, telling me to be quiet. Chika is serious. It seems that they are working on a process called templating, in which colored glue is applied to a paper pattern.
Well, he told me to try going through all the steps without his help. But I already failed in mixing the dye, but he told me to keep going anyway.
After dinner, she talks happily. She has to repeat the steps hundreds of times to perfect the craftsmanship. I guess even that is just the first step. And when her story stopped and we were about to go to bed, I told her my intentions. Hey, Chika-san, I think we've lived here for quite a while now.
Yeah, you're right. It's been half a year.
Thanks to that, I think I was able to save up the moving expenses. So, let's move together and rent an apartment with me. Her eyes widen for a moment at my words, and then she smiles happily.
Yeah, I agree. Let's live together.
It's been a few days since we talked about that. Chika and I explained the situation to Hanazono's and asked them to let us take the day off together. But Asari-san was grinning for some reason. What was that?
Well, that's right. They were going shopping together. Sounds fun, huh?
Huh? I don't really understand why, but she suddenly changed the topic. After that, we visited several nearby real estate agencies, and when Chika left to go to the bathroom... What? Are you... president? Are you... Makura? About a year and a half ago, Kyo Nagaoka, the company's president then, ran away with money and hid somewhere. Now, he's here. However, he was only surprised for a moment. When he realizes that it's me, he puts a grin on his face. Well, I'm sorry about earlier. There were unavoidable circumstances. Actually, I started another company. How about you work for me again? Huh? As I was wondering what's wrong with his brain that I presume still exists in his head, he hugged my shoulders and said, I said I'm sorry about what happened before. That's right. Let me compensate for the salary back then. I can't say it out loud, but I found a product that will generate explosive profits overseas. If you don't mind, could you be in charge of purchasing? I promised you before, right? This is a chance for you, who was an orphan and struggling, to be safe for the rest of your life.
Uzumasa-kun, don't listen to what that man says.
And Chika appeared.
I can't believe you're really starting a business like that, Uncle.
Uncle? That means the president is the uncle who tried to sell Chika to a Yakuza in the past. I see. Considering the time when Chika became homeless and the president ran away, it adds up. I immediately left Nagaoka's side and stood next to Chika. Although he pretends to be a good man, This guy is really bad. That means the product he's talking about is...
Isn't it common? So-called courier. If you're an orphan, there won't be many people who will make a fuss even if you get caught, right?
No way. Drugs?
Yeah. I ran away, so I don't know the details, but I think he got punished for starting a business that is supposed to be a Yakuza's territory.
What about the police? Didn't you consult them? Heh, the police won't act unless they have proof.
Yeah, so I became homeless. That was safer. I was miserable, though. I often felt like I was in danger. I was so frustrated that I even cried.
Chika looks regretful. However, I dare to argue back that the police will act as long as there is proof. Chika-san, it's okay. This man will be arrested. Because... Saying that, I glared at Nagaoka and pointed my finger at him. Embezzlement. Even if the amount was not much, it's enough to get you arrested. Then the rest of your crimes will be investigated. Huh. If you can catch me, try it. Farewell. We'll never meet again. He's running away. We reflexively try to chase after him, but there was a familiar face ahead of us.
Kumagoro-san, catch him! He's a criminal!
Oh? Her sudden slip of the tongue. Normally, it is dangerous to ask someone who is not a police officer to arrest someone. Criminal? What did you do to my precious disciple? Nagaoka shrank back and became quiet as Kumagoro-san shouted at him. Immediately after hearing what happened, Aseri-san called the police. Remember this. Hurry up and put him in the police car. Just before being loaded into the police car, Nagaoka suddenly starts to get scared. Since he had already started a business in this town, he may have already been marked by the police. After a brief questioning, we were released. Once things settled down, we lowered our heads. I'm sorry, I got you guys involved. Don't worry.
By the way, did you find a place to live? You're getting married, right?
Huh?
The fact you're moving to the same place means you're getting married, no doubt. Yeah? Uzumasa-kun asked me to live with him, so...
What? I never expected to be taken as a marriage proposal. Now, let's talk about what happened afterwards. Nagaoka was arrested, charged with many crimes, and sentenced to prison. In more than 10 years, he was finally released from prison, but... I've been waiting for you, Kyo Nagaoka. Next, it's our turn to punish you. Yeah! You're way too persistent! For violating their territory, even after more than 10 years, he was still being chased by the Yakuza. He ended up homeless and on the run for the rest of his life. For custom-made Rabukoizumi products, please allow approximately 2 to 3 months for delivery. Aseri's company has expanded its business by finding new sales channels. We have increased our staff and are getting busier.
Huh. It's the best I've made so far, but it's nothing like Kumagoro-san makes.
Chika is also gradually improving her skills as a dyer. She would later become one of the most famous craftspeople in Japan, but that was still a long way off. In the end, we got married soon after we moved in together.
It's really a strange connection we have, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all thanks to you that we are happy, Chika.
No, it's you who told me that we should do our best back then.
We are who we are today because we didn't give up and took chances. Although we haven't been able to hold a proper ceremony yet, we are heading towards bright future as a married couple.
Hi, it's Brittany. everyone knows that you don't mess with the Yakuza, am I right? Alright, I'll see you guys in the next story. Bye!